The New York Knicks signed Gershon Yabusele to a 2-year, $12 million deal. He's just another 3-and-D wing. He's got a massive wingspan. He can shoot the basketball. He's good at getting to the bucket, as you guys can see on the screen. Finishes through contact. 11 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 50, 38, 73 splits. But 38% on 4 attempts is extremely impressive for a guy who has a 7'1 wingspan that can defend 1 through 4. This is a big time addition. I mean, how many players outside of Mitch are that tall off of the bench? There's really none at all. I mean, Mitch, and then you've got a bunch of like smaller level guards like Shamit and Delon Wright and Deuce McBride. So this is a huge, huge upgrade to the team. Because of that, the Knicks are using their tax player mid-level exception, which means that they're going to have to sign James Najee or Mohamed Diawara to a minimum salary to be able to stay under the second apron, but that's perfectly fine. The Knicks also can still afford to bring in at least 3 more veterans on min, so like Achua, Shamit, DeLon Wright would be pretty cool. Of course, last night for vets minimum, we got Jordan Clarkson, which at the time of me recording, I didn't know that he was going to go for vets minimum. I thought he was going to go for that, of course, tax player mid-level exception. But the Knicks, they said, no, we're going to bring in Clarkson for the minimum, and then we're going to use that on a lengthy 3-and-D wing. This is absolutely massive. A guy who plays through contact, that defends 1 through 4, that can switch everything, that even played center for the Sixers when Joel Embiid got injured. I mean, I can't stress it enough. This is a championship level move for the Knicks, and it makes them a significantly better team. The bench is looking amazing with Clarkson and Yabusele and Deuce and Mitch. Now all of a sudden, you just love to bring back Landry Shamet. That would be so cool. Hopefully, next time we talk, that's going to be the case. But yeah, we're talking about only one player on the bench last season outside of Mitch that was over 6'8". And you look at Yabusele, effective on defense, played with energy every game, and even held down the fort as starting center for his injury-riddled squad. Just taking a look at notes that the Sixers left just to learn a little bit more about him, because it's not like I watched very many Sixers games. They were pretty bad last year. And after signing a rookie minimum deal using their TPMLE, tax player mid-level exception, which is what that stands for, on Gershon Yabusele and agreeing to a veterans minimum with Jordan Clarkson, the Knicks are projected to have a 12-man team right now, which again, you can have 15. One of them is going to have to go to Diawara or James Najee just for financial reasoning, which is perfectly fine. I think both of those guys are young with upside that I like to see the Knicks develop. We saw Kevin McCullough and Pacom Dadier and Talakolik and Ariel Porty last season be in similar roles. Just they're going to be with the team. They're going to be spending time in the G League as well. But Yabusele, happy to have him on the team. Don't know too much about him, but high energy, 1 through 4, can defend that, can switch, can even play the 5 at times in limited minutes, shoots the ball well, 38% on 4 attempts. He's also at the point of his career where he just fits the timeline for the Knicks. I believe he's in his later 20s. Not that that really matters because it's a 2-year deal, but I'm excited about it. The Knicks did have interest in Al Horford. They ended up not bringing him in just because more than likely they didn't have the salary to be able to do that. Again, Horford's probably going to go for more than 2 years and $12 million. So you pivot to Yabusele. He also was considering the Nuggets. He ultimately chose the Knicks over them, which is very, very interesting. I think this makes us a way better team. The bench depth, especially 3-and-D wings and a bench scorer, that was the priority. It's not like the Knicks needed to go out there and make any crazy moves. They just need to fill out the rest of the second unit so they can have a better chance to go deeper in the playoffs, and they've done that, and I don't think the Knicks are done. Would not be shocked if we do see like a Mitchell Robinson or a Mikal Bridges trade. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I don't think the Knicks are necessarily done. I think we'll be making a couple more videos before the summer league talking about moves, big moves. Some other things that I do want to talk about is going to be Miles Turner and Mike Brown. We'll start off with Mike Brown because it's like more Knick relevant. So he is having his second interview with the team for their head coaching vacancy today. James Dolan will be there. He is considered to be the front runner, but we can't rule out Mike Anora and of course James Borrego, also Taylor Jenkins. It's unsure if any of those guys are going to get second interviews, but you can't rule it out. That's what Ian Begley said. I think Brown is probably the right decision. If it were up to me, I would not be hiring him. I would personally go with Borrego. I just think he's a genius offensively, and I think that's what the Knicks need because, yeah, like defense is going to win, but Borrego would be able to just make the Knicks unstoppable on offense, of course. So I think that's something that you have to take into consideration. Not to say Mike Brown can't coach offense because he's actually known for his offense, but I think my thing with Brown is he has the most experience. I think he'll get along with the players, and I think he will bring out the best of his guys. I just don't know what his ceiling ultimately is, if that makes sense. I don't know if we'll be able to win the championship with Mike Brown. I felt the same way with Tibbs, and I said that even before like Brunson. I was like, I don't think we're ever actually gonna win anything, like win a championship with Tibbs. And I feel very similar with Brown. But if Brown does bring in Borrego as his lead assistant, then absolutely my mind's gonna change because now all of a sudden you've got your experienced coach, and then you also got the innovative offensive floor spacing type of guy. I think them together would be great. And the rest of the Knicks coaching staff is also pretty damn good as well. You got like Mo Cheeks and Dice and these guys. So yeah, I'd be pretty excited about that, honestly. The issue is that yeah, you let go of Tibbs, but it's not like there's a ton of amazing options like Mike and Nori I like. Even if you want to look at like Don Staley, I mean, there's a couple of interesting candidates, but you got to be able to bring in somebody better than Tibbs if you're going to do this. And I think without question, a combination of Brown and Borrego would be better than Tibbs. Like I don't even think there's any debate about that because they're going to use their bench. The offense is going to be a little bit innovative. It was just stagnant and stale and like boring last season, and I didn't really like the way the Knicks constructed their playing time in their minutes, and it just was not good. That's why the Pacers beat us, and game one obviously didn't help. So there's that. And then I did mention to you guys about Miles Turner. So he ended up joining the Bucks. The reason why this is significant, because for one, he's off of the Pacers. We've lost to them in the playoffs twice in a row. You'd have to imagine that without Miles Turner, they're not beating us. I mean, just his ability to defend and also to stretch the floor. Tyrese Halliburton also with that Achilles injury. I mean, so he's going to be out for a very long time. But the reason isn't even that. It's because Giannis is not pleased with the Bucks' decision to end up releasing or waiving, however you want to phrase it, Damian Lillard. I don't know if he's going to demand a trade like tonight or tomorrow. I'm not saying that. But it's just something to watch out for at the very least. Even if there's a 1% chance to get Giannis for the Knicks, it's still 1%. It's still Giannis. I think we would legitimately win the championship with that if we could move off from Cat and a couple other pieces to go get Greek or this and that. Or maybe you guys want to keep Cat, and I don't know why we would have Giannis and like OG Mikhail. You'd have to try to maneuver some of those guys around. But personally, yeah, I mean, any sort of Giannis trade, you have to put Cat in there to match salary, and he would have to specifically ask to go to the Knicks, so it just is unrealistic. I get that, but it's just something to at least watch out for. The Pacers got a lot worse. The Bucks, I mean, without Dame, it's hard to say they got better. I mean, he was giving you 25 a night, and yeah, Miles Turner is a big upgrade for them, but I don't think any Knicks fans necessarily afraid of Miles Turner and Giannis. I mean, that would be a tough exit, or a tough matchup rather, but I don't think it's anything crazy, to be honest with you guys. So I'm not really too concerned with the Bucks. The one team is going to be the Cavs to watch out for just because they're healthy and they just got Lonzo Ball. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever, man. Just something to bring up, man, in the video. I figured why not.